Right now, somewhere in this country, someone is actually crying, like real tears rolling down their face, because 11 strangers kicked a ball in the wrong direction. They haven't slept properly in days. They canceled dinner plans. They're wearing a jersey of a country they've literally never set foot in. And then there's you, watching all of this unfold, completely unbothered, maybe a little confused, honestly just thinking about what you're going to eat tonight. And here's the thing nobody ever stops to ask. What if your brain is actually doing something kind of fascinating? Because think about it. The real question isn't why you don't care about the World Cup. The real question is why they care so intensely about something they have absolutely zero control over. They didn't train, they didn't play, they didn't pick the squad, but their entire emotional state for the next 3 weeks is completely riding on it. So what is actually going on in their heads, and what does any of that say about yours? Okay, so back in 1976, a psychologist named Robert Cialdini noticed something kind of weird. After a college football win, students started showing up to campus in school gear. After a loss, same students, regular clothes. No team colors anywhere. He called it basking in reflected glory, BIRG. And the idea is pretty simple once you hear it. When a team wins, fans unconsciously borrow that win and stick it onto their own identity. Not they won, we won. The guy who was literally on his sofa eating chips the whole time? Yeah, we won. The team's success becomes the shortcut for feeling good about yourself. So if you don't need that shortcut, if your sense of self is already doing fine on its own, you're just not going to feel that pull. It's not that you're indifferent, it's that you're already solid. And it goes even deeper than that. Sports fandom actually lights up the same dopamine system as a slot machine. The outcome is unpredictable, the stakes feel huge, and your brain just gets hooked on the uncertainty of it all. Every match is basically a spin. But here's the thing. Some people's brains are way more drawn to that loop than others. If your dopamine is already getting fed through work, or music, or a relationship, or something creative you're building, the slot machine in a stadium just doesn't have much to offer you. You're not missing out. You're just already full. There's also the social side of it. These researchers, Horton and Wohl, figured out back in the 1950s that humans build real emotional bonds with people they've never actually met. They called it parasocial attachment. And sports teams are basically the ultimate version of that. They hand you a group, a shared language, a reason to feel connected to millions of total strangers on a random Wednesday night. For a lot of people, that's genuinely filling something. The non-fan usually already has those connections, just built differently. Smaller, tighter, more real. Now here's where it gets a little uncomfortable. Evolutionary psychologists had pointed out that intense tribal loyalty, my team, my nation, us versus them, is actually a really ancient brain pattern. It served us back when we lived in small, competing groups and survival literally depended on it. The person who can just sit out of that loop, who doesn't need a tribal win to feel okay, that's a relatively modern brain doing something kind of rare. Not better, not worse, just different wiring. And look, to be fair, fandom actually works for people. Real research shows it cuts loneliness, lifts mood, builds a sense of belonging. The emotional ride is real, and it's doing something genuinely useful for them. No shade. But you? Your brain just needs a different stage. Your attention lives somewhere else. And if you actually know where that is, if you know what moves you, what gets you thinking, what keeps you up at night in a good way, that's not a gap in you. That's literally the whole point. Your brain isn't wired wrong. It just has somewhere else to be. And if you're the kind of person whose mind works like that, who thinks more than they show, who notices things others walk right past, there's a lot more on this channel made exactly for you. Subscribe, because this channel is built for people who think deeply about who they are and why.